Atrins, an early entomologist, apparently a bug scientist, observed ants carrying particles to neighboring ant colonies and inferred, well, hold on, I'm going to stop for a half second. So I'm imagining ants, they're walking to their neighboring ant colony and they're carrying particles. Particles? What the hell is that? Like dust? And inferred that the ants were bringing food to their neighbors. Okay, well, if they're bringing food to their neighbors, they're probably not bringing dust, but I don't know what particles means. It's very odd. All right, also, this is what some entomologist observed. It's not what Atrins is saying, right? Him or herself. So we don't know what the author actually thinks. We just know that, hey, here's what somebody else thinks, and what they inferred and what they observed. Okay, further research, however, revealed that the ants were emptying their own colony's dumping site. Okay, so the particles sound like, the word that comes to mind is shit, but I don't know exactly what the dumping site is for, but maybe not food, right? Thus, the early entomologist was wrong. Okay, this last claim is clearly a conclusion. You guys all see that, right? This is a conclusion that was based on this new research that came out. So now my question is, okay, is this conclusion proven? I was sort of going in this direction. I was like, if it's coming from the colony's dumping site, it's probably not food, unless I guess you dump out food. I mean, we do that all the time too. But anyways, it's like probably not food, but I don't know for sure. Where Atrins goes wrong is, or Atrins, I don't know how to say this person's name, but thus the early entomologist was wrong. Is that 100% true? No, that's not proven. They're just probably not right? There's a difference between being probably wrong and being wrong. And the LSAT is saying wrong here, and it's like, well, we don't know that they're wrong. The only way we would know that they're wrong is that the dumping site never has food, right? If it never has food, then, okay, they wouldn't be bringing food. Then I would know that the early entomologist was wrong. Are you guys cool with that? That's my prep. I don't know what they're going to ask me, but that's my assessment of the argument. Yes, it's an argument, and yes, it's a bad one. That's not surprising. Okay, Atrins' conclusion follows logically if which one of the following is assumed. Okay, so this question is saying, hey, which one of the following answers could you add to the premises or the evidence in Atrins' argument and make the conclusion logical? And we actually already did that. Are you guys cool with that? What we said was, hey, dumping site can never contain food. If it never contains food, then Atrins is right. The early entomologist was wrong. They weren't carrying food. So I'm expecting some sort of answer like that. A, ant societies do not interact in all the same ways that human societies interact. Definitely not that helpful. I mean, first of all, it's not surprising, but even if that is true, that they don't interact in all the same ways, there could be many ways in which they do interact in the same way. And what does that even mean with this food stuff? Like, how does this relate? I don't carry stuff to my neighbors. So not helpful, not the answer. B, there is only weak evidence for the view that ants have the capacity to make use of objects as gifts. Okay, the argument never talked about these things being gifts. Maybe they are gifts. Maybe it's actually like an anti-gift, right? Like, yeah, here, take our dump. I don't know. So again, this is like not useful. C, ant dumping sites do not contain particles that could be used as food. Okay, that's very, very close to what I said. The sites never contain food. They do not contain particles that could be used as food. It's more wordy, but it means the exact same thing. If that's true, then the conclusion follows logically and the argument is fixed. Okay, so that's the answer. But I am going to check the last two just to make sure I'm not missing something and then have to come back to C and change my answer. But D, the ants to whom the particles were brought never carried the particles into their own colonies. So what? Does that mean it's food or not food? I mean, maybe they never carried it into their own colonies because they were giving it to another colony and end of story. E, the entomologist retracted his conclusion when it was determined that the particles the ants carried came from their dumping site. Okay, so the entomologist changed his mind. Does that mean that the entomologist was wrong? Not necessarily, right? Like, people can be right, then change their mind and actually be wrong. So the fact that they've changed their mind doesn't mean that they're now, oh, they definitely were wrong before. So not a good answer. We're looking for something that makes the conclusion follow logically. And by the way, follows logically means must be true. So how do I make this conclusion proven? C is the answer. Rich, all I see over here in the comments is you're a bad neighbor. Are you talking to me? Because, like, maybe I am a bad neighbor. That's true. I don't go ask for eggs anymore or whatever.
You never take your neighbors any goodies or food?
No, my wife's really good at that, actually. She's like, oh, these people moved in. We got to take them cookies. I'm like, yeah, when we have time. And not that I don't want to. It's really like I genuinely want to, but I don't know. Like, life is just like, it just doesn't happen. So I bet I need to, that's kind of a lame excuse. Okay. That's not a thing in New York City. Yeah, I bet. Some neighbor came, hey, I got some cookies for you. Yeah, okay, thank you. Talk to you later. I'm not eating those, but whatever. Okay. Cool. Any questions about this? This is a question that is not uncommon. We can answer it before we even get to the answers or the question itself. Cassandra.
Hi.
Hey.
What level of difficulty is this question?
Well, according to the demon, it's a level 3. It looks like not that many people were tempted by the other wrong answers, so maybe it's actually a 2, or it's evolving and it's going to become a 2. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay.